Welcome to the Divine Lifestyles Podcast. I'm your host, Tara Magalski. Together with my guest experts, I cover topics ranging from cutting-edge healing modalities to hormonal harmony, to nutrition and plant medicine, to mindfulness and spirituality. My goal is to educate and inspire so you can create your own divine lifestyle. It's time to dive inward, rewire your brain, and heal from the inside out. Welcome to the Divine Lifestyles Podcast. I'm your host, Tara Magalski, and today I am joined by the beautiful goddess, Emilia Garth. Through her crystalline voice, she creates healing journeys weaving music and meditation. She is a professional singer, songwriter, and recording artist, and has songs available on all streaming platforms in 6 different languages, and I'll let you tell them which languages those are later. Of Native Hawaiian descent, she unites cultures, taking you on a journey across the world. She is also the founder of Kanikapila Miami, and I hope I didn't butcher that, and the biannual Kanikapila Fest. And that is a celebration with live world music and spiritual and creative activating workshops to bridge generational and cultural differences.
Yes.
Yes, girl. I got it all out without tripping on my tongue. Thank you so much for being here. You are just an amazing star, and we had the amazing opportunity to meet each other last summer when I had hired you to sing at our beautiful event in Miami. And I just absolutely fell in love with you. And I just knew that I needed to have you in my circle, in my sacred circle. So just thank you so much for taking the time today.
Oh, it's an honor and it's always a joy. And that event was so beautiful. You can plan quite a soiree with intention.
Yes. Thank you so much. You know how I knew? This is how I knew that we were going to be friends. Not only were you amazing to work with and we had this amazing connection prior to the event, but it was the intention and the setting of the prayer prior to guests arriving that I was like, yes. When we had that special moment together and we just kind of prayed over the room and over what we wanted to see happen energetically in that space.
Thank you.
So
Yeah, as you say that, it reminds me, I don't know if you've ever worked in a restaurant, but before the restaurant opens, sometimes they offer a family meal and they always have lineup where they say, this is this, that is that. And it's similar to what we did, but it's kind of like everything in life. When you just add that awareness, that full presence, and a touch of ritual and love, it changes everything. So it was like a lineup, but it was so much deeper and so much more expansive.
It was so beautiful. And I thought, I do that, especially in my home. And I thought that was just a beautiful thing because you were like, yes, let's do it. I was like, yes. I was like, she's done this before. She knows. Like I do a lot of that, especially at my home. If I'm having any sort of retreat or something, I'm really conscious about getting up early in the morning and walking the property and setting the intentions and just calling in all the beautiful energy that will support us in spirit throughout the day. So tell us a little bit about you. I mean, you have amazing work. We'll dive into that in a little bit, but did you grow up spiritually connected in Hawaii? Was this learned from your parents, or was this just something that you cultivated on your own?
Well, before we get into that, something was coming through from what we were just talking about, which is how you get up early and you walk the property. And I had a download recently that time is love. So wherever you put your time, you're putting your love. And we know this in terms of where our attention goes, our energy flows. But if you think of what you're investing your time in, that's your love, that's your life force. Those are the vital moments of your life. So if you're walking around the property and just acknowledging all the elements and blessing it, then that time is time very well spent, because that time is time cultivating and remembering and spreading love. So that's just something that I wanted to share. Because that's something that
Yeah.
we can ask ourselves anytime that we find ourselves scrolling on social media or doing anything that's just a time waster. We're like, I could be putting my time, which equals my love, into something that either nourishes my spirit or sending love to someone else in a more direct and impactful way. So that's a really nice way to course correct throughout the course of the day.
Oh, I love that. I
Thank
love
you.
that. Yeah. And I want to dive into that a little bit like later because I wanted to ask you. Well, I'll hold that till later. So let's start from the beginning. Start from the beginning. I want people to know who you are and like how you've come to be. Were you always like this? Did you come out of the womb like this beautiful goddess?
I don't think so. My mom actually said that when I was born, she thought she was having a deer because I was all arms and legs. I was just like, "Ugh." I was so skinny when I was a kid. I was just all limbs. And I don't know if I was always spiritual. I've only known myself as I've always been. And I definitely have always been very connected to sound
Mm.
to an extent that, you know, when we're children, and a friend of mine kind of gave me this idea that I'm going to share, but when we're children, we are the essential oil of ourselves. So if you look back at what you loved as a child, that is hopefully what you are doing as an adult, because what happens is just like some essential oils that you can find, they have stabilizers and they have other things that adulterate their purity. And as children, we usually gravitate towards something, and then other things get stuck on us that we end up calcifying, and then we sometimes lose our essence. But as a child, I was always very
Mm.
connected to sound, and I love nature.
Yes. Wow. That was really, really powerful for me, what you just said, because one, I love essential oils. I sell doTERRA essential oils. And also, you said it's like returning to your true essence. And that is like the core of my work now with
Mm.
divine lifestyles, remembering your true essence. And
Mm.
so, wow, that was, I mean, you distilled it so beautifully. And, that was amazing. So, thank you for that little drop of wisdom. I
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. That little
love
essential
it.
oil drop of wisdom.
I love that essential oil drop of wisdom. I'm here for it.
You.
So you came out as a deer, but a beautiful goddess deer, and you lived in Hawaii. So tell us a little bit about growing up in Hawaii.
So I was born in North Carolina, and I lived back and forth between North Carolina and Hawaii, and also spent some summertime in Alabama. And so that's, I think, where all the sound came in, because I was consistently exposed to different cultures and different sounds,
Hmm.
because the accents are really different. And also the cultures are really different. In Hawaii, we have more of an Asian influence. So I heard a lot of Asian languages being spoken, and also the way that we speak is very musical. I think it's musical. I think it's fun. The inflection of the words is different from in the South.
Yeah, Hawaii, right?
Mhm. Mhm. Or
Yeah,
Hawaii. Mhm.
I love that. I love that. And I mean, which area did you live in Hawaii?
Oahu. So
Oh,
that's
wow.
where Honolulu, the capital, is. Mhm.
Yeah. Amazing. Do you still have family there?
I do. My siblings are there, my parents are there. They spent half the year between there and Pensacola, Florida, and then all
Oh,
my mom's side is still over there. So I just got back actually like l 10 days ago, I think.
oh, amazing. I'm like, I mean, California is nice too, but it's so beautiful. Actually, California. Why am I saying California? You live in Miami. Yeah, what actually brought you to Miami?
I came here for college, which is kind of a funny story, because I graduated from high school in Hawaii, and I was in a reggae band, and my scope was a little bit limited. I just wanted to sing reggae and live like the reggae life. And my father, so my mother's the Hawaiian one, and my father is a Southern gentleman. I like to say my mom's like a Hawaiian, like a Polynesian princess, and my
I
father's a
love
Southern gentleman. And then they sprouted or spawned or gave birth to three. We're all three black sheep, which is funny. So I guess none of us are black sheep if all of us are, but
yeah.
for my poor parents. But so my father was like, "You are not staying in Hawaii you need to leave and go to college, because he was afraid that I would just never see the bigger world. And this world is so majestic. And the more that you get to loosen the prison of your minds from what was familiar and what's comfortable, just the more enlightened you can be, and you can realize this is not the only way. And also, maybe this way is not the best way. And maybe there is no best way. There's just a best way for each moment and each situation. And so I think I'm so grateful for my father having ruined my dream, but in essence, opening the path, kind of like, Ganesha, he like clears the path, all the obstacles. My dad really
Mm,
opened the world to me, because Hawaii's pretty isolated. So anyway, I
yeah.
applied to only 2 colleges, and my criteria for my colleges were annual temperature and proximity to the beach, because I knew I couldn't be cold and I knew I couldn't be far away from the beach. So I only applied to University of Southern California and University of Miami. And that's what brought me over to Miami.
Very smart. Very, very smart. I'm telling that now to my nieces because, yes, I grew up in New York. I went to college in New York. I lived in New York. I'm like, we're done with New York. These winters are pretty tough.
Yeah.
So very smart. I'm encouraging all my nieces to go somewhere warm.
Yeah, it's
So
really
you
important for
were,
mental health. Well, for my
oh,
personal mental, but some people love
oh,
winter
yes.
sports. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Winter's like good for like a minute. Like, okay, we're gonna sing around the tree and have a hot cup of cocoa, and then we're good. So like 2, 3 days, we're good. But I want to talk a little bit more about your work because there's so many amazing things that you do, and you really weave, music and meditation for holistic wellness. So tell us more about the work that you do.
The work that I do is very playful, actually. I just had an event last night and I was like, surprise, it's comedy, mantra, medicine music night. And people were like, what? And I was like, yeah, bliss is our birthright. So feel free to have fun. Please
Yeah.
sing along. It's going to be interactive, because that's how life is. I didn't come here to give you a show. I came here to help us all feel and connect. And if I do something and you don't respond, then that's not really connection. So let's have some call and response. And so, every single experience is unique. It will never be the same. You can come let's say that I do 3 events a week. Like next week, I have a festival, I have a song circle, and then I have a spiritual Sunday second festival. You can come to Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and you'll have a completely different experience each time, because it's very necessary to get the feedback from the audience to offer them what is appropriate and what will be most nurturing and nourishing and most of service on that day. So I like to weave in meditation with the music, so that you can't even tell when the meditation starts and when the music ends. It's just one. And that's particularly helpful for people that are just beginning their meditation practice, because it can be difficult to sit in stillness, but you'll have this guidance and you'll have this consistent droning sound in the background that helps you stay connected. And if someone is an experienced meditator, it can be something different that still has the integrity of meditation, because it has that same intention and spiritual essence.
Yeah, and I love how you use a lot of mantras. We did that in the event that we had done together, and it was just so beautiful to have the whole room singing just blessings over each other. So I think that that is just so powerful.
Mm.
You
Wow,
know,
when you
when we
said
were
that,
like we
yeah.
were singing all these blessings together and using the mantras really to cover us all with love for that day. It was really, really, really special. So I can say that I've been in your presence, I've seen your work, and it is really, really special. So tell
Thank
me
you.
more about last night. This sounds really cool. So it was like comedy, like how did that work out?
Well, actually, I just want to share something that came through when you mentioned that event where we met, where we were singing blessings over one another. The visual that came to me was like the confetti shooters at a club, but the confetti were blessings and sweet words and individual voices just covering and blessing. And that was a really beautiful visual that I wanted to share.
Yes.
Yeah, my mind works in really visual ways
Yes.
spiritually because in terms of creating visual art, I am not your woman. Like
But you
drawing is
see
not
and
my.
express
Mhm,
visually. Yeah.
mhm. Yeah. So last night it was just a beautiful experience. It had cacao, meditation, yoga, and then I closed with a medicine mantra concert. But I sometimes people go into experiences with that are spiritual. So for example, a meditation, sometimes this is only what I think, people might have a little bit of a solemnness to them. They might think I need to be very serious. This
Yeah.
is very serious. And spirituality is very deep, but just because something is deep doesn't mean that there can't also be the counterbalance of levity and of
Hmm.
playfulness. And so my guru said, well, my guru is hilarious. I don't know if he means to be hilarious, but he is. And he was like, yeah, if someone is too serious, like maybe don't trust them because I don't think that they're really enjoying their life. And life is meant to be enjoyed. So I always like to preface the events with some kind of fun and levity so that we can all be authentic and get through, crack that armor of um, just sobriety and being so serious. Let's play, let's get loose, let's have fun in a spiritual way.
Yeah. I love that. I love that because we're all going through, we have enough trauma and other things in our life to deal with and heaviness. Like, let's actually come together and play. I love that. I've got an exciting offer for all of my listeners: the free Divine Daily Practices video series. Get simple practices to release anxious thoughts, sharpen your intuition, and rewire your nervous system in less than 10 minutes a day. Come on over to my website at divinelifestyles.com/divine daily practices. And over the next week, you'll receive a complimentary self-care system to drop into your authentic self and activate your divine intuitive wisdom. I hope you enjoy. Now,
Mhm.
everything that you do has an aspect of like vocal activation. So I'm going to get technical. I want to understand because I'm not a singer, but I like really want to be a singer.
Mhm.
Um, like, what's your process as a singer songwriter for vocal activation? Because I know you also offer those as workshops.
Thank you for asking. And this is the perfect time to ask. I don't know when this is going to be released, but I'm actually offering my first online vocal activation course starting in September of 2023. So the process, well, if it's in a group setting, then I'll have some vocal warm ups for everybody to do. And then we'll do some journaling and then we'll have small group. And if it's one on one, then it's really deep and really profound because I get to ask the person questions and it's kind of like vocal therapy because it's
Mm,
far beyond just hitting the notes. It's about accepting oneself,
mm,
remembering that we come here as unique drops in the cosmic ocean,
mm.
accepting our uniqueness, embracing it, polishing it, and then sharing it. And that's all through the voice.
I love that. When we were in Mexico just a few weeks ago, we did a vocal activation workshop, and it was very physical for my husband and I. It was like trying to unlock the ego and the brain from judging. And it was really powerful, and using different mantras and using different like very tribal sounds and your body to
Mm.
kind of move because what I was getting from the instructor was you're in your head, get out of your head. Okay,
Mhm,
let's get your authentic voice. This is
mhm.
like a 4 hour long session, and it was intense and it was physical. I was sweating. Took a lot to get to my authentic voice. And then I said to him, "Oh, this is wonderful. We finally got there. Now what do I do?" And he was like, "You let it go." Like, what? I was like, I want to practice. He's like, "No, then you're going to get in your head again." So I'm really feeling called to study my voice and
Mm.
have it come through in a very authentic way through song. So hurry
Mm.
up, girl, get that program together.
All right. Well, I already have it posted. I have all the information ready. So enrollment starts on May 1st. So it's just around the corner.
Amazing. And so throughout this activation workshop, like, are people singing in front of other people? Cause like that makes me a little nervous. Like, are we in a group setting and kind of all just singing?
In the online course?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a very small container. I'd like for it to be a
Yeah.
small container, especially because it's going to be the first round of the online. I've
Yeah.
taught online before, but I haven't taught groups online yet. So um, I'm really looking forward to this because I think that we need to consistently challenge ourselves. And also, I've been a little bit against doing the online work, even though with the pandemic, everything went online. But I just love the human to human connection. However, it is limiting. And the
Yeah.
internet is a beautiful tool. It's a great way for us to connect. Right now, we're in different places and I can see you in real time, and it's a gift. So,
No,
yes, we will be
yeah,
singing because it's very empowering to have your voice heard.
it is. It is. And I didn't realize how much energetic blockages
Oof.
that one can have by not fully releasing their full voice. And I mean that in many different ways. Like, one, full voice, fully articulating what it is you need, what you want, allowing sound to move through you unobstructed. Like, it's just very powerful. It's not just like, oh, I want to sound good. Because I believe that when you hear someone sing and they move you, and like, when you hear people sing, you just start to cry. You're
Mm-hmm.
like, that is that power, I believe, of that, like that inner true voice, like your true essence, that true voice that comes through. Once you're able to like unlock that, I think that is what really moves people. And I think
Mm.
that's what it is. That's what it is. When I watch, like sometimes I'll go into like binges on YouTube and I'll just watch people singing. And, it's the ones that really cut to my core. I think it's that they've really cleared that space to
Mm-hmm.
allow like their authentic voice to come through. I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. I'm not a professional, but just energetically feeling.
Yeah. And actually, a small confession, that's actually how I gauge how successful, and I don't know, for some reason I have an aversion to the word success, but I gauge how successful my offerings are by how many people cry, which is
Um,
probably a weird metric, but it has been my metric for the past few years in meditations and in concerts. There are people crying, and it's from what the responses I've gotten, they're tears of bliss, they're tears of remembrance, they're tears of love, and they're tears that they really needed to release, but that they had been suppressing for a long time. And in terms of the energetic body, I mean, you know this, but when we repress, that's what dis-ease is. And
yeah.
so this is
This
really
is.
healing. And I don't like to
Hmm.
call myself a healer because I can't promise, but I will facilitate. And the root of
Facilitate.
facilitate is facile, which is to make easy. So I'll help make it
Yes.
easier. But you got to do the
Yeah,
work. Yeah.
healing through sound is so powerful.
Mm.
So, so, so powerful.
Mhm.
So that leads me into like, what is the inspiration for your music, for your lifestyle?
Oh gosh. The inspiration for my lifestyle is that I can't do it. Oh gosh, I just said the word can't. I do not
No
desire.
judgment.
I do
Yeah.
not desire to live in any other way. I have
Mm,
lived many lives in this life, and it's not a competition how many lives one can live in this life, but been, I've had a lot of wealth, I've had very little wealth, I've lived in multiple countries, I've had very different jobs, And this is the life for me at this moment because it is the work of my soul. And
Mhm.
anything else is a distraction and is a disservice to my time here, however long, however short it is. Anything else that I do is a disservice and a distraction. And I, um, I was actually having a conversation with a friend yesterday, and I said, envision yourself as your favorite fruit. So, what's your favorite fruit?
I love blueberries, raspberries, a berry.
Okay, a berry. Let's say that berry juice was a thing. Like berry juice was something that everybody desired. Um,
Yes.
you want to squeeze all the juice out of yourself. You, as this berry, you want to squeeze all the juice out of yourself during your life here. Because if there's any juice inside of you, then you're not giving all that you could to the world. And so I've realized that my
Mm.
juice, my offering, my sweetness, my gift to the world is this opportunity to heal through music, through meditation. And so anything else, and I would leave a complete berry that had never been juiced.
Mm.
And I can't do that. I can't do that to my spirit and to the
Yeah.
world.
Yeah, I always like to say when you're born, when you're gifts and you're born to do something bigger than yourself in the world, and you try to walk away, like spirit never allows you to stray. You'll always have that gnawing, right? That yearning to come back to what it is that you were, your soul's blueprint, your soul's mission, what you are here to do. So thank you for honoring that. And not everyone is as blessed to one, even know what their gifts are, have the courage to explore their gifts,
Mhm.
um, and, the courage and bravery to share those gifts.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes. So tell me a little bit more about your company and like the festivals and what you're building with Kanapala. I'm saying it horrible. I'm going to just stop.
Kanikapila.
Kanikapila.
Yeah, so Kanikapila is a Hawaiian tradition and it's composed of two Hawaiian words. The first word is kani, and that is to play, and kapila is the stringed instrument. So
Ah,
that's why our emblem, our little logo, is an ukulele.
yeah.
And yeah, and so Kanikapila, it's a Hawaiian tradition where we all just sit around and we play music, and it's multi-generational. And the ancient Hawaiian family system was so much more than just the nuclear family. And they say it takes a village to raise a kid. I don't want to say that we
Mhm.
were tribal, but basically it was the whole community would live together. And so Kanikapila is the whole community coming together to play music. And what happened was I moved to Miami and I missed the community musical gatherings. And I really, as you mentioned, I yearned for, I felt that gnawing at my spirit to
Mhm.
play music, but I didn't have anyone with whom to play and I didn't know anybody. So I was like, oh, I'll go to open mics. So I'd go to open mics, and no, I don't have anything against bars or cigarettes or alcohol or anything that happens in bars. Everybody's on their own path. Everybody do what you want, what makes you feel good. But I don't drink and I don't smoke. And I also need to go to sleep early because I wake up early. I'm like, I know I'm a little bit
Yeah.
of a granny, but I just wake up really early naturally. And when I wake up, I'm like, bing, I can't, I can't just lay in bed. I'm like, go. So I started going to open mic nights, but they were really late. And
Yeah.
generally they were in bars, and generally those bars were full of smoke, and people, alcohol makes people drunk, so they're just like full of drunk smoky people. And once again, no offense, there's, we've all been there maybe, and it's all good, but it just wasn't my scene. And I was like, oh my gosh, I love the opportunity to share music, but this is really not fitting with my lifestyle. It's not
Yeah.
fitting with the divine lifestyle of my choosing.
Mhm.
So I created these circles that are every month, and they're song circles, but they have a little bit of a Hawaiian twist. So what's happened there is that people have, like, bands have formed, communities have formed, other events have been born from people having met at Kanikapila. And Kanikapila is basically a song circle where improvisation is invited and is
Yeah.
encouraged. So if someone doesn't play any instruments, but they're like, I sing, would anyone be able to play guitar or percussion to accompany me? Then someone in the circle will come up and we'll just have like this great jam session. And then from that was born a group of individuals that facilitate really fun human connection. And then just all these really beautiful things. So the community has grown and grown, and I like to envision it as a mandala, and the
Mm.
center being music. And then from there, human connection, cacao, expressive arts therapy, all these really beautiful things. So because we have a community, I bring everyone together for festivals a few times a year. We bring in a whole bunch of musicians, and we have, I think last year in June, we had a 2-day festival, and we also had an open mic contest. So it was just really fun. And do you know who Snow Raven is?
Of course.
Yeah, so Snow Raven came in and was the headliner for our most recent festival.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, so cool.
Yeah.
So cool. I saw her online and I saw that she was like on America's Got Talent.
Yeah, a long time
I was like,
ago.
whoa. Yeah, I mean, what an interesting artist, really.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Yeah.
she came and she stayed with me
Oh,
during
wow.
during the week of the festival. Mhm.
Very cool. Yeah. What's next? What do you have coming up?
Well, we have a song circle next Friday, and unfortunately, Kanikapila has kind of taken the back burner because the past year and a half, so these last year and this year, I'm traveling like every month. And so actually take out the like, I'm traveling every single month. And so Kanikapila has kind of taken the back burner, but every time that we do it, I realize how important it is to keep it alive. So
Yeah.
I'm going to speak with my team and figure that out because it is a beautiful offering, and I want it to perpetuate, but also to evolve as we
Yeah.
evolve. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes,
Mhm.
we always, like you and I, have so many synergies. Thank you so much for being here. I just want you to tell everyone where they can find you online because I know you have all these amazing things coming up. So, where can people find you online, learn more about you, and sign up for your next workshop?
You can find me on Instagram at Emilia_Garth. You can find Kanikapila on Instagram at Kanikapila, so that's 2 Ks, Kanikapila, at kanikapila.miami. And then on my website at emiliagarth.com. And then I'm on all the platforms, so on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, iTunes, all the things. Just my name, Emilia Garth.
Amazing. And this is just the beginning of everyone seeing us together. We are going to be working on some fun projects that we have not released to the world just yet. And I'm super excited to work with you. I love you. And I
That's so
just think
nice.
you're such a powerhouse. So thank you so much for being here today. And mwah, I cover you
Mm,
with blessings.
thank you. Received with gratitude and reflected back.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Divine Lifestyles Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review us wherever you get your episodes. If you really loved this episode, screenshot it and share it on social media. It will help us to continue to make an impact. With gratitude and love always, keep illuminating your path.